Hey, Carrie, it's Jacob. Thank you so much for filling out that information. It really helps you, but it also helps me in advancing my program and processes and sharing the value of pricing. Just a really quick overview of what's going to happen is I'm going to share some insights with you that hopefully reveal some of the gaps that you're experiencing in your pricing that's causing some of the gaps in results, in income, profitability, etc. So I'm just going to get right into it. The first one, let me just bring it up so that you can see it. And it is right here. So the first one was, how do you set your prices now? And your answer. And I said, how you set pricing is really based on per project right now. So it kind of is guessing because it's not factual, it's not formulated. And when we guess, a lot of times we figure it out and we make enough. But in a formulated format, what you're going to find is that it's exact specific and it always pays you. It always covers expenses and it always adds a percent of profit. So you're missing some of those pieces just right off the bat. But anyways, the actual amount that you charge, it's kind of guessing it right now. Although this works, the percent of profit, the income from each sale gets diluted and causes money left on the table or the potential that accurate charges are not happening. And obviously, you would agree with me on that one. You're probably in the 85 percentile. 85% of people I talk to really do overall guess their pricing. They charge what competitors charge. Somebody recommended it. We came up with a fee that we thought was a good one, and people said okay. So we're like, oh, cool. It's still all guessing. When you can formulate it and you know exactly what you need to charge, it changes everything. So, do you know your exact monthly expenses? You said yes. I said knowing your exact monthly expenses puts you in the top 5%. Seriously, like if you know all of your expenses, you should be reviewing expenses quarterly because there's new programs that are showing up. There's ones that we delete. There's changes in income, there's changes in economies, there's changes in a lot of things that are happening, and we need to be able to make those adjustments. Ideally, it's quarterly. The least that I would do, like you did, was every 6 months. The next one, I said, does your current pricing cover all of these? And you said some, not all. So even though you said, hey, you know your exact monthly expenses, you know that your exact expenses, but you also are not covering them, right? So, because we're not governments, we can't allow that to continue, or we just don't make it. So you may be close or far off, but formulating them allows you to know exactly what you need to charge every single sale that covers the expenses, that pays you that portion of your income and covers a set percent of profit. When you do that, you're a profitable business. So the gap here is because you're not covering all of them, that either means one, you really don't know what your expenses and your income and your profitability formula is. Um, or sometimes we hesitate because we feel that it's too much money. In my pricing for profit formula, I coach on top of showing you what your numbers are. We cover that, but the one thing that knowing exactly what you need to charge, knowing exactly how many sales you need a month, which is part of what my calculator shows you, right? You gain confidence and belief, and now you know this is the bottom line. I cannot go under it, or my business is losing money. It changes us mentally and emotionally. So we step up and we ask for what we're really worth. And I feel that because of you're so nice, I can relate to at least part of that is that we do it at our expense, and that has to stop at some point. I would say that's a big gap. The next one. Um, which is the fourth one, is said, what specific profit margin are you targeting on each sale? You said you don't have a specific. That is a big commonality. But what it does is it takes you away from being a profitable company or profitable business. And we're all doing it for profit. Yeah, we're doing it to make an income. Yes, we're doing it for freedom. But at the end of the day, we don't want to keep having to dig in our pocket every single time the business needs something. It'd be nice to have a bank account with a cushion in it so that if you need a new laptop or if you need, um, to rent a car for an event or pay for the event or whatever it is, the profit in the company has it. You don't have to keep generating new every time you need something. And so I said, by not having a set percent, you most like you're most likely in 85% of the people that I speak with that aren't generating a specific profit or a profit at all. And this is how initial growth or emergency expenses get their funding is through profitability. That's how big companies create these pet projects for millions of dollars because they already had the millions of dollars in the profit bank account, right? It's not coming out of expenses. So pricing, when it's used as a tool, which is what I teach, it covers the rest before you have to spend it. So not only do you have profit in the bank, but when you use pricing as a tool, you forecast and formulate what it's going to cost, and you start charging for that now. And you usually find it's not a big gap. It might be as little as 20, 30, $50 per sale that can get you that next assistant, that can pay for that next big program, that can cover the expenses of the growth that you need, including marketing charges. So what happens is confidence, belief, everything else starts falling into place because of that. Next one, it says, how many sales per month do you need to make your numbers work? You said you don't know that number. That's a big one. That's like the neon sign saying, hey, you need to figure me out. Um, this combined with what you charge is required to succeed as a profitable company or a company that succeeds, that pays you enough, right? That has enough coming in. Um, it's the way that we plan marketing. When we know exactly how many sales we require to do this, then we can forecast our growth. And then we can forecast the growth into pricing, not into one more customer. When we start calculating that, oh, I just need two more clients to cover this. If we lose two clients, we get into panic because we don't cover things. But if you have two new clients and they only cover 10% of all your expenses, your income, and your profitability, we can bear that burden for a couple of months until we right the ship. But when you're doing it on a per client basis, that's a sand hole that's really hard to dig out of. Um, so that's a big one. That's a huge one. When did you last review your pricing within the last 6 months? Congratulations, you're in the top like tier. Most people that I speak with, at least half, haven't checked their pricing probably since COVID, 5 years, 6 years, right? So the fact that you did that, um, when you review, make sure that you list every expense out. Most don't. Make sure you list your desired income. Make sure that you list that set percent of profit. If you don't know what to charge, start with 10, 15, or 20% um, as a net profit, which means after all expenses are paid, after your income is paid, after the taxes on your income is paid, then there's 20% profit or 10% profit left. That's a magical company, and it's not difficult to do when you can formulate it and you can see it on a calculator, which is what I created when I did the pricing for profit formula. Next one, it says, at your current pricing, can you afford to hire the team you actually need? You said no. Again, that's a big blaring gap for me. That means you're using pricing just to figure out what you need to charge today, or you're not using pricing to figure it out at all. When you use pricing as a tool, you forecast the growth. You know exactly what it's going to cost for that next assistant 3 months down the road. You start charging for it today, and you find that it doesn't cost you as much as you think that it does. And you start paying for them so that you up level the quality of the people you bring in. And when it comes time to hire them, 50% of the reason you don't hire people is eliminated. because now you can afford it. Most people will hesitate because they don't feel they can afford it. And in truth, they really just don't know their numbers well enough. That's what I do when I do the pricing for formula. You walk away not only with a tool that you can use for the next 30 days to just mess around and calculate and figure things out, but you know exactly what you need to charge to pay for today and to pay for your future growth. You will know exactly what it is and you will start doing it because I will make sure as a coach that I coach you in being confident and believable enough that what you ask for, you get. All right. I get passionate about it, but it's like so many people cover this that they feel they can't hire a team that they actually need. That's just sad, right? Because it's an easy fix. That's why. And then the last thing it says, what's the biggest thing stopping you from raising your pricing? Having an offer that's appealing enough that warrants a price increase. This is an easy fix for me. Maybe it's just for me, but it's a really easy fix. This is a belief and this is a confidence, and this is a messaging situation. It's not anything else. What you deliver already, I know you. I don't know you real well, but I know you enough that you give every single thing that you have into what you do, especially when somebody becomes your customer because it's so hard to get them sometimes. Yeah, I'm the same way. I give every single thing that I have, and I will make sure that you have the tools required to make your growth happen. When you have an offer that's appealing enough and you come with the passion that you have, Carrie, and explain it to them in the words that they connect to, they will pay what you ask for. You will up level not only your cost, what you charge, but you'll also up level potentially the quality of people you attract, but you absolutely 100% will up level the passion and involvement that your clients come with because I show you how to share that and how to give them what they desire, not what you do. When we can connect those two pieces, it's magical. I'm just going to bottom line it. You qualify for the program. I guarantee it with 100% money back that you not only will figure out your pricing, but you walk away with the confidence to be able to ask for the price that you come up with. It normally is within about 20% of what you're charging now, normally. I don't know what you charge. I don't know where it's at. But in normal situations, I would say 70 to 75% of everybody that I speak with, they're within 20% of what they need to charge to make their whole business work, to cover all your expenses, to pay you what you really are worth, to know exactly how many sales a month that you require, and to add a set percent of profit on every single sale. I highly encourage you to reach back out, to ask me, let's set up a time, let's set up a call, I'll put my Calendly in, let's figure it out and see if we can make it work together. I know I can help you. I guarantee it with all your money back. At the end of the 30 days that we work together, I give you another 30 days of access to the custom-made calculator that I created that shows you exactly what you need to charge. So I came up with a pricing calculator, and what it does is we put in all your costs, your fixed costs, your variable costs. It tells you, we put in your profit percentage, we put in what you want to get paid as an income, we put in your tax rate. It tells you the number of sales that you get, or we start factoring those in, and then it tells you exactly what you need to charge on every single sale. It allows you to save it, and it gives you the access to this for additional 30 days. I'm updating this probably within the next week. It's going to add another feature to it. So I highly encourage you to just join me, figure this thing out, get your pricing together. Let's make sure that you have your messaging together so you can really sell to the clients that deserve you, but you get paid what you deserve and your company's covering your expenses and you have a profit. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you find this video beneficial and helpful.